an all-nighter. Midnight buzz, all warmed up, bring on the headliner. The boys are all here, we're fired up, and if it's your first time with us, you ain't gonna know what hit ya. It's gonna get turned, it's gonna get right, lit up bright on a Friday night. It'll go off and blow up just like we thought it would. It's about to get good. When we show up, it goes down. It's already off the hook. I've been here right now. So can I get a witness? You don't wanna miss this. If you ain't sticking around, well you should. I would. 'Cause it's about to get good. It's about to get good. Yeah, it's about to get good. Oh, it's about to get good. Oh, yeah. It's about to get good. Oh, yeah. It's about to get good. Come on, everybody, get it up. Gonna get good. It's about to get good.
And now that I have my microphone working right, I wanted to introduce us in that beginning portion. Didn't get a chance to do it, so we'll do it now. It's the World Center of Racing, the Daytona International Super Speedway, where tonight the stars of the Slide Job Racing League look to kick off their season on the right foot. We're at Daytona for race number 0, technically, because it's just the Daytona Duels tonight. We're going to set our lineup tonight for the Slide Job 200 next week here on BRN Racing Network. Dawson Allen in the booth as always. I'll have some guests joining me through these dual races as we get into them, but for now it's just me going solo. We have got qualifying coming up in about a minute and a half, and this is going to be important to set our dual lineups to set us up for this dual racing. Of course, we got drivers locked in. The top 25 in points from last season have locked into the main show. We'll highlight some of those drivers as things go on, but right now, just kind of gets it down to the racetrack, and you can see there's Michael Walls flipped over on his side as we find some action on the racetrack and get ready to go tonight. Of course, plenty of action in this race awaits us here. So it looks like we have got 42 drivers currently entered in tonight's race. Qualifying, I should say, for the heats, for the duels, which is going to be big. Of course, the field size is currently going to be 43 will make the show. So as it stands right now, if this is all we've got, everybody's going to make the grid next week in Daytona for Racing Funny 250. There you see Michael Walls still on the wall right there as they continue making their way around the racetrack here. Watching this pack of cars here, including Dane Cruz in the 1. This is Duncan Fall. It shows in the 50. It's number 45 on the sim. And then right behind them is the number 71. That is Gino Mero. As we got 1 second left here in practice. Coming down to the start-finish line. Checker flag will fly. And that will do it for us here in practice. It is fastest time for Jonathan Parker, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, Dane Cruz, Duncan Fall, Christian Pacheco. They are your top 5 on the speed charts. So we'll get ready to go into qualifying. This is all so important to get us set up and ready for these dual races tonight. 30 laps each dual race will be. The winner of those duels, of course, will go on to start in the second row. The pole sitter, of course, will be the one that sets the fastest lap time here in qualifying. We'll catch up first with our 48 car here, multi-time champion here in the Slide Job Racing League, that being Jonathan Parker in this number 48 machine. As he rolls off onto the racing surface, many drivers about to start making the same trek on the apron through 1 and 2 before hitting the high banks of this 2.5 mile super speedway. Of course, just this past weekend wrapped up racing in real life at this racetrack, the 24 Hours of Daytona for the Rolex watches there for the IMSA series. Great race, was there for that one. A lot of fun. If you can tell, my voice is still kind of gone, but we're all right. So we'll watch JP make his way out onto the racetrack. Of course, mentioned he is a 2-time champion here in the Slide Job Racing League. as we get the ball rolling here. Pardon me, actually three-time champion Jonathan Parker is 3 straight, season 10 through season 12. Last season's champion, of course, Ethan Fonseca Moreno. We'll watch JP in his qualifying. He has done very good when it comes to qualifying for the race at Daytona. He has not, however, done very good when it's come to the race itself. He's had a lot of struggles. He's had a lot of times where he'd been taken out of it. So he's looking to see if he can fix that here this season. Can it be the time for him to finally find success here at Daytona International Speedway? I just realized the graphics are not pulled up, so we'll put that right there. And now we start seeing times get set down. Pacheco going fastest right now. Gabe Gazzola, now Justin Rott second. Matthew J. O'Brien goes to the top of the speed charts. Jonathan Parker currently slots in 4th. Looks like he's going to call it after that one lap. A lot of guys pulling off after just one lap there, maybe going for one lap runs. So we'll see how it all pans out. We'll cut back to the 30. This is Francisco Bacayo here as he makes his way down the back straightaway, heading in to turn number 3 up on that high side. Celsius Live Fit Toyota Camry. More drivers setting lap times right now. It's Matthew J. O'Brien on the pole, Christian Pacheco second. Now I do believe it's one lap here for everybody, so only one lap they get set. But the big thing about it is this: the top 2, I think, should be locked in to the main event next week in the front row. So that's big for them if they're able to do so. Matthew J. O'Brien, Christian Pacheco currently hold it. Now Jeffrey Armistead goes second fastest. The 49.253 is Francisco Bacayo on his timed lap. Got about maybe 4 drivers that have yet set it. Now make it 3. Stephen Madge just went 13th fastest. The 4 that have yet set a lap time are Sean Cassane, Gino Mero, Jared Wilson, and Francisco Bacayo. We're watching the 30 car right now as he makes his way around. On the hot seat right now is Jeffrey Armistead, who currently sits second fastest. A 49.253 was the lap time to beat for second. The pole time is 49.249. We'll see, can Bacayo be the one to knock off one of those two and take a starting spot in the top 2? They'll hit the stripe this time. It's going to be a 49.299. Not going to be good enough to jump into this top half of the field. We'll cut back to Jared Wilson. Sean Cassane just went 30th fastest. Jared Wilson on his warm-up lap, showing up as a number 19. He's in the number 83 in the car. As he'll hit the stripe here. Two drivers have a chance at the pole still. Gino Mero goes 15th fastest, so it's down to one driver to set a lap time. Jared Wilson going for it all here. Matthew J. O'Brien is locked into the front row. Will it be on pole or will it be second? What can Jared Wilson do down the back here in the final seconds here of qualifying? Armistead already locked into the race, top 25 in points last season, but wouldn't mind being a starting spot locked up in second to kick off Season 14 next week. We'll see. Coming off of turn 4, Wilson going to get down to that WL line, get down on the apron. Everybody's been doing it. Can he pick up enough time there on the bottom? He hits the stripe. It's going to be 42.279, 15th fastest for the 83. Not going to be enough to knock off Jeffrey Armistead from the top 2. So Matthew J. O'Brien, Jeffrey Armistead will be your 2 to roll in next week. On the front row, I do believe. So as Jared Wilson completes his lap time, 42 drivers have all set a lap, I believe. We will head now up to the sky. We'll see if we can get a hold of some of these drivers. Just make sure real quick on the rules, because I do believe it is a front row lock, and if it is, then we'll get a hold of our 2 drivers and talk to them while everything gets set up for the duels, everything gets sorted out, and so on and so forth. because we'll also have to back out and get set up and gather up everything to get ready to go. I believe it is front row does lock up, so we'll talk to our drivers if we can get a hold of them. First things first, we get a hold of our second place qualifier. See if we get a hold of him. Hey, Jeffrey Armstead, it's Dawson out up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Alrighty, well, you know what it takes to win at this racetrack. You've done it before. Starting second here in this one, what do you think it's going to be, trying to navigate this race, starting in the front row rather than starting in the back?
Well, hopefully being up front, I can kind of maintain track position and not get shuffled back into all the chaos. If I do, I'll probably just, go to the back and ride and figure out drafting in these cars because I haven't run a plate race in these cars in quite a while. But yeah, I don't think ultimately it's too different than anything else where if you can be up front, make sure you maintain control of your lane and get everybody behind you to push you. And if you go to the back, pray, kind of. So yeah, hopefully it goes well.
Alrighty, well, we'll see how it goes. But a second place starting spot next week helps with the pit position on the pit road. Gonna have a good pit stall for that. So, teammates, sponsors, shoutouts. We'll get them for you here now, since we got you. Who you got to thank? For bringing out a fast car here for qualifying.
Yeah, well, just real quick. The last time I started up front in this league, I kind of wrecked myself on like lap 4 or 5 or something like that. So in the big race, hopefully I don't do something silly like that again and wipe out other people. But yeah, I just want to thank all the guys at Circumference Ultimate Motorsports. So we got Matt, Mikey, Brett, and Tyler, and I got Waffle House on the car. So shout out to them as well.
Alrighty, he is going to start second next week in that Racing Not Funny 250. It's Jeffrey Armistead, a former winner at this race. Best of luck, Jeffrey.
Yep, thanks, Dawson.
And I'll ship him back off to his team, and we will see if we can get a hold of our pole sitter. Alrighty, let's see if we can get a hold of him. I do believe this is going to be his first start next week, and he's going to start it from the front row. It's Matthew J. O'Brien. Matthew, first and foremost, congratulations on making the pole here for Daytona next week.
Thank you.
Well, it was a fast qualifying time. It puts you out on the pole position. What are you looking forward to next week? Trying to chase a win here at Daytona.
I mean, I look forward to starting up front because I mean, people say track position doesn't really matter, but if you can get some guys to work with you, you can kind of just control the entire thing, and then track position will quickly matter. But I also like leading, especially like in pushing situations. So I'll be in a good spot for that to start the race at least. So
yeah, absolutely. Well, Go ahead.
Yeah, you go.
I was going to say, with coming in here, I don't know if you have any teammates here, so the duels are really going to be your second chance to race everybody. Of course, you ran the Clash last week, so what is this going to be, just to help you kind of get used to the people you're racing with and kind of help you prep for next week?
I lose pole if I crash in DNF, so I am actually just going to, bail and ride around by myself, probably. So, not to lose the pole position, so...
That works too, but hey, it doesn't matter. You still got the poll anyway, so you'll be starting up front next
Yeah.
week. So, just teammate, sponsors, shout outs, anything you want to shout out really here. First time getting a shout out. What you got?
I'm just gonna shout out Maggio. He brought me in here, so raced him before, so excited to be like the rookie and stuff and see what I can do. So
All right. Well, we're excited to see what you can do this season, starting off strong on the poll here at Daytona.
yeah, thank you.
That's Matthew J. O'Brien, our poll sitter for next week at Daytona. So we'll see if we can maybe get some other guys in here, talk to them, see how they're feeling, what they're thinking. Let's see. We're currently in a waiting period. They're getting the dual lineups set up. I got to get everything ready to go. We'll take a look and see. Of course, last season's winner, I don't believe, is here. That would be Jake Scarborough. I don't see him in the driver lineup, so it looks like he is not here tonight. We're going to keep looking and kind of seeing maybe if anybody else we can kind of pull in here to talk to. We'll see what we can get sorted out because it looks like they're getting the dual lineups set up. So as we wait for that to happen, just kind of looking to see. We'll take a look at how the lineup is for qualifying. So it's Matthew J. O'Brien I mentioned as the starter on the pole. He will be on the pole next week. Same with Jeffrey Armistead, outside pole. Those two drivers are going to look to see if they can't just make it to the end of the race here tonight. All they're worried about is just making it to the end. Christian Pacheco, third fastest. He'll have to start second in the duel, or have a chance at least to try to race. Start for third. We'll have to see. Rivers Jones qualified fourth. Brett Bennett qualified with a fifth fastest lap time. Justin Rott was sixth. Jonathan Parker, three-time series champion. He's seventh fastest in this qualifying session. Ryan Bogey was eighth fastest. Oscar Enriquez, ninth fastest. And then Bridger Olson was 10th fastest. Bladen Sparling, Duncan Fall, there's Stephen Maggio in the 51, Dane Cruz in the 1. Winner here before, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Jared Wilson, 15th fastest, then Gino Mero was 16th. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer back in 17th, the same time put down as Jacob Locklear, just behind him in 18th. Then you see another tie between Donald Stern and Gabe Cazzola. You can see the lap times all so tight between everybody here. Jamie Wright was 21st fastest. Then it was Francis Hamilton. Enrique Cucalan was 23rd fastest with Nayla Thacker 24th. Michael Walls 25th fastest, 26th for Hunter Collier. 27th for Charlie Bayer. Francisco Bacayo was 28th fastest. Andrew C. Davis back there in 29th. And Matt Morrison was 30th fastest on the board. Shane O'Neill was 31st. Sean Kissane 32nd. Michael Kruger 33rd. Travis Van Oostendorp was 34th. Nathan Kiani back there in 35th. It was Robert Lukens 36th. Matt Steiner 37th. Jeremiah Kenniston Jr. 38th. Shockey Tarpley 39th. 40th for Tyler Watermullen. AJ Nickel was 41st. Anthony Foss, the slowest lap time of everybody here tonight, was 42nd. And that is how they qualified. So far, of course, only top two are locked up in any way, shape, or form. After that, we have the duels to set the field for next week's race. We'll have some drivers likely going home. So we'll see. So currently looking to see... Currently waiting, getting the lineup set. We'll see if we can talk to anybody else. I got a quick update. It's AJ Knickel, not Nickel. So Knickel will be the way we pronounce that. It's gonna take me a bit to get that right, though, AJ. I'm sorry for it. It's gonna take me a while because I'm gonna look at it. I'm just gonna see KN and just immediately think KN. So we'll try our best. We'll do our best with it. So we'll see. All right, as we continue to wait. We're still waiting on everything. We'll see if we can actually. What we're gonna do. Currently, just kind of waiting. It's a waiting period. They're doing a lot of work. Admins are hard at work, getting everything set up. We'll go ahead. We'll just pull these two in. We'll pull them both in and talk to them. Because it's likely that these two will be joining us as drivers for this first duel. So how we're going to do it, we're going to do it like we've done for the past couple years. We're going to have a couple drivers come in that are not racing those duels. They will commentate with us, and they'll go out and race their next duel, or vice versa, depending on how it is. As it sits right now, I believe these two will be in duel number 2. So they'll have them for duel number 1 here in the booth. It is going to be the driver of the 81, Rivers Jones, and the driver of the 89, Jamie Wright. We'll start with you, Rivers. It was a 4th place qualifying effort for you in that 81 machine. How are you feeling heading into these duel races?
I'm feeling very confident. You know, I had a fast car in qualifying. I did about the best I could, and I think 4th place was pretty good. I'm feeling very confident for my performance in Duel 2.
Well, we look forward to seeing how it is, but of course, duel number 1 is going to be the thing to watch. And Jamie, looking at you, you've had some good runs here at the Super Speedways. 21st qualifying spot so far. Of course, we'll see how things go with how the duel works out and everything. How are you feeling heading into these duels tonight with your, looking to see where you can start next week?
Well, I knew I wasn't going to qualify very well, so I didn't expect much out of that, and I think 21st is actually pretty good for my standards. But yeah, I know I can get up to the front in these duels, and if I don't make it up there and I wreck or whatever happens, it's not too big of a deal because I know I can do it again next week.
Well, we look forward to seeing it, but how are you guys feeling? We'll start with you, Jamie. How are you just feeling about getting ready to get back going here and get season 14 on the roll?
Well, it's been a while. It's been a long time actually, and there's some new faces and some new people in new places, and I'm really looking forward to getting all that sorted out here these first few weeks, getting the season going.
Absolutely. And Rivers, your thoughts?
I'm feeling excited. I like the switch to the next gen car. I feel like I perform a bit better in that car, so I think you'll see my results take an uptick this season. But I'm really excited to do some racing this season. It's been a while.
Absolutely, we're looking forward to it. How are you feeling? About the season as a whole. Turning to the next gen cars, going back at it here this season. How are you feeling just as a whole? We talked about how it's been a while since we raced and everything, but changing the car as well from what we've run before. How are you feeling, with this stretch coming up here? We start Daytona, we go to Dover, Chicagoland, to open the season. 3 very different tracks.
Right. I think it's going to be a very fun challenge. With the switch, the CEO switch from I think it was Dane last season to Steven Maggio, there were some significant changes with the schedule and the race lengths. The race lengths are considerably longer this season, and I'm excited to test out all the changes. I think it's going to be a fun challenge, and I'm really excited to take on the season.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this new challenge. I don't ever drive the next gen car, so it's going to be a new experience every week for me. But I do think a lot of the same people that were up front last season will probably stay up front this season. I know a lot of them are really good in the next gen car. But I'm looking forward to seeing if anybody else can get up there and race this season.
Yeah, we're looking forward to just everything this season's got to hold for us. Just kind of looking through the schedule, just kind of picking things out. Like for example, the stretch right there in the Dash for Bread. We have the Charlotte Roval and then Charlotte itself and Bristol to close it out. Jamie, you're a short track guy. How are you feeling? With that short track being right there, and how things line up. You've got Richmond right there as the second to last race of the season. How are you feeling though with those short tracks, coming into the season?
Well, I really hope I can run good at the short tracks. But other than that, I'm not expecting much anywhere else. But as long as I can keep my nose clean everywhere else, I think running those short tracks right there could be very beneficial for me.
Yeah, we'll see what it is in due time, obviously. And then Rivers, on your end, you've been very good with those, not super speedways, like Michigan and Auto Club. We got both those races on the schedule this season. How do you feel your chances are in those races?
I feel very confident. I've been able to perform pretty well there in other leagues, so I think I'll be able to take some of my expertise and apply it here. The next gen car is much different from the Xfinity car and the truck, but I do think that it somewhat translates. So I'm really excited to see how I perform at Fontana in Michigan.
Alrighty, but outside of those tracks, what other tracks are you guys maybe looking forward to the most on our schedule?
Personally, a couple that stick out to me are Chicagoland and Darlington. I love Darlington. It's such a unique racetrack. It's going to be a long race with 150 laps. That's one of my favorite tracks, and I think I'll be able to perform there. Chicagoland, that track's been off of the real-life NASCAR Cup Series schedule for a couple of years now, but it's such a fun track. It's got multi-groove racing, and I'm sure that will be one of the most competitive races on the schedule this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Las Vegas. It's a season finale, and it's a track that I'm really good at, as well as Pocono. I finished good there in BSR, so hopefully I can do that again here in Slide Job. And I'm actually in duel number 1, so I'm going to go race duel number 1, and I'll be back for duel number 2.
Alrighty, Jamie, well, best of luck in duel 1. We're getting ready to head over to that duel. We got to switch the broadcast over. We're going to switch the league session over, so we're going to throw up a quick couple commercials. Rivers, don't go anywhere, though. I got you in the booth for duel number 1. So we will do that. We'll change everything over and get us opened up and get ready to go racing here tonight with the duels at Daytona here for the Slide Job Racing League kickoff to season number 14. We'll be right back after these words from our not real but totally real sponsors.
Hey Josh, did you know that Tire Pros does more than just tires? I mean, they can handle all of your car's automotive needs.
Why are you talking like that?
I'm talking normally about how Tire Pros offers complete car care.
Wait, are we in a commercial?
No, we're in a car.
Is that a camera?
Tire Pros, more than tires.
What was that, a tagline? Where'd that logo come from?
Ooh. Call Logano. Hey, Joey, you can save money if you fill up at Shell if you use Advanced Auto Parts Speed Perks.
Dude, I'm way ahead of you.
You saved at the pump?
Yeah, I saved at the pump.
The pump?
The pump.
He saved at the pump!
Woo! Now you can save at the pump when you shop at Advanced Auto Parts. Learn more at advancedautoparts.com/gas rewards.
Now, it's my turn.
Kyle Busch, welcome to Menards. What can I help you with today?
Well, I've got my shopping list right here. I need some green treated lumber. I need a brown Mastercraft door. I need red Clearview cabinets and some blue Dutch Boy paint.
Those are M&Ms.
And?
At Menards, we carry the world's best selection of home improvement products to help you complete your next project.
You've got more of these, right?
It's all gonna fit in your car?
I got a trunk.
Save big money at Menards.
Mark Martin and I both love driving the Dream Machine for errands. But one thing about Mark, he's wound pretty tight. And it's a little scary how different he and I are. At lunch, he polishes his helmet. I'd rather polish off a few chili dogs. He cleans his car's headlights. That's not real, buddy. We don't see eye to eye on everything, but no doubt, we do both love Aaron. Because it's the store to get everything you need for your home. You don't need credit, and you pick the payment plan that fits your budget. Nobody beats Aaron's, right, Mark? You didn't even shave. You like that?
Maybe you know who we are.
But do you know who we really are?
We're ladies.
And not so gentlemen.
We're part athlete.
Part astronaut.
We're outlaws turned heroes.
We're the loudest party on earth.
We're fire. We're smoke. We live at the corner of Mayhem and Maine, where anything can happen. It usually does.
We welcome you back to coverage of the Slide Job Racing League duels at Daytona. Getting ready for duel number 1 here at Daytona International Speedway to set the lineup for the iRacing.Funny 250 to kick off Season 14. It all kicks off, of course, next week. Hope to see you there. Of course, same time, same place here on BRN. So welcome you back here. It's Dawson Allen joining me in the booth. It is Rivers Jones. They'll be racing in duel number 2, joining us for duel number 1. Rivers, how you feeling just getting ready to roll out here? And just, watching this, up here in the sky, not being a part of all the calamity.
It's an interesting feeling. I don't do this very often, so I'm really excited to, get a bird's eye view at the action and prepare myself for Duel 2, because Duel 1 is going to be a great appetizer for what we're going to see in the second duel. That'll give us a good idea of what to expect, and I'm really excited. It's going to be a very fun time.
I'm absolutely excited for it. So we're ready to get going here in about 2 minutes. We got warm-ups going on for the drivers getting ready to race in this first duel. So we'll get down on the racetrack to see what they're doing, because I don't know if any of them are really turning a lot of laps or maybe just kind of, just screw around a little bit, having a little bit of fun. Just for you, Sean, I'm going to try to yawn a lot more, see what we can do. Like right now, here we go. Is that good enough? I think that might be good enough. When you go to Daytona for the 24-hour race and you sleep in the grandstands, even with the fact that I drove home and slept a bunch yesterday, I am still worn out. So I'm still recovering from that one, but that's okay.
Takes a lot out of you.
Oh, absolutely. It's a taxing, especially like sitting up in that grandstand and, everything like that. Just it takes a lot out of you, especially if you don't get enough sleep afterwards anyways. So try to get some sleep tonight. I gotta go to work in the morning, so we'll see. Anyways, got about a minute left here in the warm-up. We got guys just kind of turning laps, doing a little bit of extra last-minute practice with everybody, or maybe just kind of doing whatever they feel like doing, because it doesn't really matter. The lineup's already set. We already know where everybody's going to start for this duel, so it doesn't matter who's doing what. But we'll have some numbers kind of messed up, it looks like, because Travis Van Oostendorp shows up as the 8 when he should be the 7. The 77 is Donald Stern, but he's actually the 8. It's a mess, but that's okay. It's opening night. It's going to be a little messy. That's just how it goes. So Enrique Cucalan right now has the fastest lap time. It doesn't matter. It's not like this is going to award him any points or anything, so that's fine. But we'll get ready to go racing here in just about another minute or two. Get the field lined up and ready to go. So we have 9 drivers racing for 7 spots in this duel as things stand. So as we've gotten warm-up ready to get going here in the session itself, the 9 drivers racing for 7 spots tonight. Francisco Bacayo, Charlie Bayer, Matt Morrison, Sean Kissane, Nathan Kiani, Shockey Tarpley, AJ Knickel, Anthony Foss, and Travis Van Oostendorp. Those 9 drivers will be competing for 7 open spots. The 2 that don't make it in that top 9, of those 9 that don't, you know what I mean, the 2 that don't finish the highest, they are going to be going home. So we'll see how it all pans out. We'll take a look at the starting lineup for this here dual race. Starting on the pole for it, of course, is your pole sitter for next week. He's already said he's going to take it easy. That is the 43 of Matthew J. O'Brien. He's got Jonathan Parker, 3-time champion, starting his outside. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer and Francisco Bacayo, the first of those needs to race his way in, starting in 4th. Oscar Enriquez and Francis Hamilton making up row number 3. Back there in row number 4, you've got Christian Pacheco and Shockey Tarpley. Then it's the 24 of Michael Walls and Andretti Robinson, rounding out your top 10. starting lineup is really messed up. I don't know what's going on with it. So we're going to just ignore it entirely. Because it's showing Rivers is supposed to start 11th, and that's not the case. Field's rolling right now.
Not correct.
Yeah, Field's rolling right now, so everything's all messed up. That's fine. It happens. The duels aren't meant to be showcasing everything anyways. That's for next week for us to show you the starting lineup. So, what right now is that? You can see O'Brien, Pacheco, got Jurgens, Byron, Parker. There's Enriquez, Bacayo. Right there, those top 6, I believe. Behind them, there you see Michael Walls. Has to let Brett Bennett get by him. So as they keep sorting everything out, we'll see what happens. Let me go green and how much it throws everything for a loop, because it probably will throw everything for a loop, but that's the fun in it. So 30 laps of racing for this first duel. We'll see how the field is able to manage it. That's what we want. As they make their way through the high banks of 3 and 4 here at Daytona International Speedway. We'll see who can add their name to the list of winners here at Daytona in the Slide Job Racing League. As the pace car gets ready to pull off. It's Matthew J. O'Brien. No, actually, we're going another lap. Yeah, no, we're going another lap.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Just trying to get stuff sorted out here.
I guess they're trying to get the lineup fully set up, which I don't know why they didn't properly get it set up, because there's a way to do it to where you can set up how everybody's going to start and everything, but I think it's kind of part of why the qualifying was done the week before, was to help the duels kind of start seamlessly without any issues, but it's okay. I mean, I'm not being mean or anything. Maggio's kind of been taking this over a little last minute when he took it over to help out with everything. So he's kind of been thrown to the wolves, and he's fending them off pretty well, I'd say. He's doing a good job. Got everybody here. Got a lot of people into this race, into this league, to come race with us and everything. So it's been a lot of fun. And I'm excited to see what this season holds and what we are going to have in store for us here tonight. It looks like one paint scheme did not load up. That, I think, is the 6 of Nathan Kiani. Thank you, Trading Paints, for popping up saying that you're still running, because you are not working properly. So, see if we can pull it up and get that 6 scheme loaded up. I know Nathan's probably got something set up. He is got to have something. There's nobody who doesn't have a paint scheme.
He's a painter. Oh. Looks like we've extended the pace laps one more time. So just trying to get the lineup sorted out. And it's good. It's good that we're having these issues a week before the 500, so this isn't happening during the big event, you know. I think it's good to just have time to sort all these issues out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to have the ability to get everything get all the kinks worked out of the hose to get everything running properly. So we'll see how it all lands. It looks like the 6 for me on my end, it's showing up as a Canadian Tire car. I don't know if that's the case on your end.
I believe that's correct. It is also showing up as a Canadian Tire car for me.
All right, good deal. Of course, a lot of times it doesn't show up properly. You see the 11, I believe that was. It just popped up for Matt Morrison. That just popped up and refreshed. So we've obviously got some schemes that are still kind of loading in, trickling in bit by bit, because Trading Paints is very much a sometimes a useless service. You see there, just kind of updating paint schemes for everybody, making sure everybody's got a paint scheme that they are supposed to have. So that way everybody's running what they want to be seen on the broadcast. But with it being 30 laps, I'm not sure. Are they going to have to pit?
I believe it's going to be close. I don't think they're going to have to pit. But I don't know, these extra pace laps definitely aren't helping their cause.
Yeah, they're not helping. I'm going to look and just make sure what the fuel percentage is for these duels. I would think they're 100% max fuel. I want to say the next gen can go 40 laps, maybe?
That sounds correct.
It's been a while since I've raced them too, so I'm not too sure. But if that is the case, they're going to have enough to make it. So we'll see what happens. But it looks like finally we're going to have a chance to do this. Lights are off on the pace car. We'll try this one more time. Matthew J. O'Brien, Christian Pacheco, the front row here for duel number 1. Pace car is leading them down the front straightaway towards the tri-oval. We'll dive off towards the safety of pit road. And for the first time here in Season 14, the field will come through the tri-oval. They'll take the green flag, and we are racing in Season 14 of the Slide Job Racing League. How quickly things have strung out. Christian Pacheco is your race leader now, and they have pretty much already gone single file throughout this field.
Absolutely. And we see a couple cars pop up to the outside lane, but they are lacking help, and looks like they're going to dart back to the bottom. But on the initial start, our pole sitter, Matthew O'Brien, pulled off to the rear, and I assume that's because he doesn't want to wreck. If he keeps the car going in one piece, then he keeps the pole for the big event next week, so I assume he's just playing it safe, doesn't want to total his car unnecessarily.
Yeah, that's what he said he was going to do as soon as he joined in the booth and talked to me before this duel. He literally just said, I'm going to race this thing. I'm going to run out back. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just going to make sure this car is in one piece. And good on him for doing so. You know, make sure you're going to have that pole position next week locked up. You want to start first. You don't want to have to start out back. So he's going to start things off from the pole. So ride it out here for the duel. Meanwhile, up front, you see Donald Stern trying to lead it outside lane. He's got Jonathan Jurgensmeyer behind him, but they're not able to really get a groove going just yet. Only 3 cars. Oh, there goes Jared Wilson into Donald Stern. Caution is out for the first time tonight. Jared Wilson got turned up the track. Maybe a bad bump sends him up.
Doesn't look too bad off. I mean, he does have some rear bumper damage. I'm not sure how detrimental that is going to be to his car, though.
We'll take a look at the BRN replay and show you what happened. It looked like he just got that one bump in the wrong awkward spot. I want to say that was Jamie right on his back bumper. So we head down the back straightaway here. Jared and Stern both lucky. They're both locked in by qualifying times. So right there, just, bad bump. Sends Jared Wilson up the track into Stern, who had nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Jared, but it looks like he's going to be able to keep it going. It's good for him. Fortunately, he's also not, as you said, not at stake to get bumped here.
He's not worried about anything yet. He's, of course, got himself a spot locked up. He has got a date next week at Daytona to try to win the iRacing Not Funny 250. I think Jamie just trying to stay with the 83/17 as he shows up in the broadcast here. The 31 actually this time, but just couldn't stay with him. Couldn't keep with it. Ends up getting into him and sending him around, and that brings out our first caution here tonight. Christian Pacheco is your race leader. Jonathan Parker second. Blaine Sparling third. Brett Bennett is fourth. Oscar Enriquez is currently in fifth.
So, Dawson, I have a question for you. Who are you looking out for tonight? Who do you think is going to be able to win the duel tonight?
I mean, for this duel, I think good money could go on Oscar Enriquez in fifth right now. Oscar, of course, is a really good super speedway racer. I've seen him win races in different leagues before on super speedways. He always knows where to be at the end of these things. So that 56 is definitely a dangerous pick to win, as well as the guy right behind him, the 24 of Michael Walls. He's very much an aggressive driver. He'll do what he has to do to get to the front. He'll put that car where it needs to be to get to the front. So keep your eyes on that 24. But also, too, the 00 of Jonathan Jurgensmeyer currently scored in 9th place. Don't count Jurg out. Jurg's always got a chance to come from behind and win. Of course, I believe he won the ZASCAR season opener here on BRN earlier in their season number 15, I believe. So he's looking to see if he can get another Daytona win to open up another season. But right now, just looking for a dual win if he can keep his internet connected.
Absolutely. Seems like Jurg always pops up at the end of these super speedway races, and I think that's due to his ability to keep it clean throughout the races, and that's because that's just such a big part of these super speedway races, avoiding the big wrecks that naturally come with the close racing. I think another person to who I have my eye on at least would be the 48, Jonathan Parker. He's a great racer. He's running up front. I think you definitely can't count him out.
No, you can't count him out, but the only thing that kind of goes against JP is just his misfortunes he's had. It's not even a case of him racing poorly at Daytona. He's always been able to run up front. He's just never been able to close the deal because something would always happen to knock him out of contention, whether it be, a late-timed wreck like last season, 4-wide situation, ended up getting him turned across the field and wrecking him out, having a chance to win the IRA Snuff Funny 250. He has always been misfortunate at this racetrack. It has never been forgiving to him. We'll see, though, if maybe that can change starting tonight with a dual win. Currently second, he's got Christian Pacheco, the race leader, choosing the outside lane. Would expect it to be your typical teammate restart that you see where the outside lane will launch, get down in front of the inside line, and they will bump draft together and work together some more. But we'll see how that works. You got Blaine Sparling and Brett Bennett behind them in row number 2. Row 3, it's Oscar Enriquez and Michael Walls. Jamie Wright with Nathan Chiani to his outside, then Jonathan Jurgensmeyer and Enrique Cucalon. That is your top 10. Just kind of looking at those guys that need to race their way in this one. Looking right now, it looks like Charlie Bayer and Francisco Bacayo are the two that are on the outside right now. But the reason is they came down pit road. It looks like what they did is they might have topped off on fuel, right? Because they did not have very long stops. Looks like it's 7-second stop for Bacayo, 6.2-second stop for Charlie Bayer. So it looks like what it was is those drivers took some extra fuel just in case we get some overtime restarts in this one tonight. So let's try it again. Pace car will pull off. Pacheco, Parker, the front row. You see they're already kind of trying to get things set up and ready to go for this restart. Pace car will pull off. Pacheco has until the restart zone, and then he'll launch. We'll see what he does. He'll get the gas pedal late here, get it going. Green flag back in the air. He'll cross the start-finish line right there and pull right down in front of JP, and just like that, work together to get back up front 1-2. Outside lane, though, starting to charge. Brett Bennett maybe thought about it, ducked down to the inside lane, and now Michael Walls leads this outside charge with Nathan Chiani, Enrique Cucalon, Shockey Tarpley behind him. Now Bennett pulls to the outside, thinking about it, and then pulls back in line on the bottom.
Now, I'm really curious to see how long this outside lane is going to last. Is it going to fall to single file, how it did on this previous restart, or are we going to see this outside charge And it seems like they're trying to stay afloat, but I don't know how long that can last with the lack of help that they have up there.
They're able to keep it rolling here. They're right now up to 5th and 6th with Walls and Kiani, so the outside lane is working, but they're quickly going to pull down. Walls does at least. Now Kiani is leading the outside lane. He's got Enrique Cucalan, Shockey Tarpley. I believe that's the 11 behind them. Matt Morrison, the 74 of AJ Knickel, and then Sean Kissane right there. A lot of those guys are guys that have to race their way into this one. Up front, the top 4 kind of split groups breaking away from the field.
Yeah, that's really interesting. You don't see that a lot. But it seems like the pack's starting to catch up with them a little bit. That outside line is definitely falling back significantly.
Oh, man! Michael Walls had a huge run on Blaine Sparling. Almost made contact, jumps to the outside, but no help with the 24. I thought that was going to be a wreck right there in of itself. Walls had such a huge run. The Mississippi Missile was coming in hot on Blaine Sparling's rear bumper.
Got Enrique Cucalan leading that outside line now. Michael Walls is going to think about jumping up. He's hesitating. There goes Nathan Kiani, but they both jump up there. Here comes the outside lane. They're going to...
Oh! Walls going to quickly dive in to that opening he had down there. Now Kiani's getting pushed by Cucalan as they head down into the exit of turn 4 down the front stretch now. Cucalan's had some decent results last season, his first full-time season, I do believe, and is looking to see if he can build upon that. He feels he's got a really good shot at these super speedways, and Daytona was one he kind of shakes his head at from last season. He felt like he should have been in a better contention than he was. Kiani, on the other hand, he was one that missed the race last year, looking to see if he can make the cut here tonight on the outside lane, working it. He's one of those that needs to race his way in, so we'll see what happens to this number 6 car.
Michael Walls is going to get a huge push by Nathan Kiani going in a 3. And they're going to be, the outside lane is going to be about side by side with the inside.
Look at that.
Michael Walls is going to clear for the lead.
Look at the push by Nathan Kiani to get the 24 out front. Now he'll dive to the inside. Kiani wants to go for the race lead.
Side by side.
Oh, Cucalan, 3 wide. How about 3 wide for the race lead here in duel number 1? It's lap number 10. We're 3 wide. Cucalan, I think, led at the line.
He's going to fall back, though. There's no help on that very outside lane. He's going to go way back.
He's locked into this race. I don't think he's too whatever about it. He's fine with dropping back here for this spot right now. But as they continue on, I get to experiment with some more of these camera angles here. Shout out to Francisco Bacayo for these cameras for K Bueno. I think it's a K Bueno Racing Network, I think is what they're using. And so thankful that he let me have these cameras, get to experiment with all this stuff, all these different toys and gadgets we got here for the duels. So we'll see what it all looks to be. Right now, it's Michael Walls leading. Sean Kissane on his back bumper now. That number 4 machine gets up to 2nd place. You see Donald Stern and Jared Wilson, both those drivers involved in that first caution. They are back up in the mix. Is there some more shuffling going on? More drivers moving, coming and going. And you see Pacheco is shuffled back to 7th. Jonathan Parker shuffled back to 10th.
Keeping it, I was gonna say keeping it pretty calm, but that's just not true. We've got some great racing for the lead here. Michael Walls currently leads the outside line by a couple car lengths. Nathan Kiani, who leads the inside. Oh, Jared Wilson's gonna jump down the bottom, right in front of Kiani. He's gonna lead the bottom now.
We'll see how they can fare with Jared Wilson leading this charge as they head down the back straightaway now. Oh, they're kind of stacking up a little bit on the outside line. Kissane and Stern were with Micah leading this charge. Kissane able to keep on the back bumper of this 24 and push him out in front further away from this field. Enriquez is bodying somebody back there. I think that's the 66 of Anthony Fawcett he was dooring there as they head down out of turn number 4 and head down the front stretch to get to the start-finish line. Not yet at the halfway point of this race. Lap number 14 of 30. keeping tabs on those drivers that are racing for their lives. But Kaio and Bay are currently the two that are on the outside looking in, back in 19th and 20th, but still plenty of racing to go. Maybe just kind of biding their time here, not wanting to get up in the mix too quickly and wind up getting wrecked out.
I think that's a smart move. You know, you don't want to cause a wreck at this stage of the race, because then, well, you want to be able to save some of your car for the very end whenever it matters. So it just wouldn't be smart to be racing like that. But they're, I mean, they're 3 wide right now.
Yeah, there's two polar opposites there. You got the 8, you got the 30 and the 14 saving their cars, maybe just making sure they can make it to the end of this race. Oh, Sharky Tarpley, just getting ready to say he's one that has to race his way in. He is racing mighty aggressive right now, trying to battle for the race lead. You got 2 drivers who are on the bubble and needing to lock in the top 7. And they're currently running, you know, 2nd and now 4th is Shockey Tarpley and Nathan Kiani. AJ Knickel's now up here in the picture in 4th. The 74's been on the bottom for most of this run. He's now found himself in the top 5.
Shockey Tarpley gets shuffled out of the pack due to that move, and he's going to fall back. And he's going to have to work his way forward, but here comes Nathan Kiani making a move for the lead on Jared Wilson with AJ Knickel to help.
No, he doesn't have AJ Knickel to help. He's got the 89 and Jamie Wright to help. Now
Jamie,
Wright pushing him out in front. Michael Walls back to 3rd. Wilson and Knickel fall back to 4th and 5th. You got Kassane now on the outside with Stern, Tarpley, Jurgensmeyer. I believe as Anthony Foss helping him. And I think that was the 11 just now of Matt Morrison that caught the outside wall. But Kiani currently leading this field. And look at Oscar Enriquez continuing to try to shove it 3 wide.
Wow. Oh, we almost make some contact with the 89 there. Real close. But Michael Walls is going to retake the lead with Jared Wilson's help. Man, it's just chaotic right now. So much 3 wide racing throughout the field.
On board with Oscar Enriquez. He has been pushing aggressively through this field to get to the front. 15 laps to go, make it 14 now.
Man, Nathan Kiani was getting a huge shove from the 89. He was barely holding on to it. Wheeling it.
Outside line is quickly formed back up and starting to roll around the top here. Getting by those on the inside lane, led by Nathan Kiani, you mentioned here. He's got Jamie Wright, AJ Knickel behind him as they're still just bobbing and weaving all over the place in this field. Man, nobody's really in a safe spot right now, except for maybe that 43 of Matthew O'Brien.
I definitely understand Matthew O'Brien's move to bow out of the pack on lap 1. Just seeing this racing, it's very intense. These guys are obviously wanting to get to the front. Speaking of getting to the front, Jared Wilson's going to leave Michael Walls out to dry, and he's going to take the lead going up turn 1.
With help from Oscar Enriquez. Enriquez with a great move to get to 2nd with him, shoving this 83, 31, whatever number you want to call him, clear out in front. Kind of seeing how this is working out. The bump draft, you know, the tandem draft is working really well in these short bursts. To get a car out in front and clear, and after that, the field catches right back up. It's like a rubber banding effect where they pull ahead and then quickly snap back. We're seeing that kind of work its way out here with these drivers now.
Very interesting. The next-gen car, it creates so much, like, there's a lot of dynamics that go on. You know, we've seen how the field has shuffled throughout the pack. I mean, throughout the race, excuse me. It started out pretty single file, and then it got pretty hairy with the 3 wide racing side by side. So it's just so much movement throughout the field. It's very interesting to watch.
A lot of coming and going, essentially, from a lot of these drivers, kind of bouncing back and forth throughout the field, from the front to the back to the front. And we're talking about back to the front. Jonathan Parker now is back up to 3rd, leading this inside line with Brett Bennett and Oscar Enriquez pushing him. He'll be side by side with Jared Wilson for the race lead here.
Oh, Brett Bennett gives Jonathan Parker a big shot coming out of 4.
Owen Walls gave a big one to Wilson.
He did. They're going to be about level at the start-finish line. This is 11 to go right here.
Parker just by a fender that time over Jared Wilson to lead that lap. That outside line charging back with Walls. Kassane Pacheco shoves it to the inside of Kassane, who gets shuffled out of line.
Kassane's going to fall back. There's not a lot of help on that third lane that just it hasn't been able to form yet. And I'm curious to see if it will as the end of the race approaches here. But that inside line's gotten far out. There goes Brett Bennett for the lead.
Brett Bennett can lead these races. He can never close them out. Could this be the one? Oh, Rick, get it back!
Crash. Big crash. Kiani.
If it can get me to who it is, there we go. Jared Wilson with the 11 of Matt Morrison on his door. Spun up. I believe that was Matt Morrison. It's Donald Stern right there. That all started with this 11 car. We'll take a look at our BRN replay. Show you what happens. This starts with the 11. Gets off of turn number 4 right there. Just comes with the track. And right there, Michael Walls, Nathan Kiani make contact trying to avoid it. Kiani looks like he only got a slight bit of damage. Nothing too crazy, so nothing too much to worry about here for that number 6 camp, I believe.
He's lucky he had the 24 as kind of a buffer to hit the outside wall. Fortunately, it didn't pick up much damage there, but yeah, the 11 just came up on the 83, and I think he just thought you'd be able to clear him before the 83 got to him. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
And right here, the onboard with Jared Wilson just tried to get up in front of this 83. Just couldn't do it. And then the contact up ahead, Walls took big hits to the outside wall. And yeah, it looks like Kiani gets away with not having much damage, but you see the 24 just heads to this inside pit wall, hits it there as well.
Ooh, man.
His night likely done for now. We'll take a ride on board with the 24.
Forced to toe to pit road. That's definitely Michael Walls' night done. Fortunately, he's able to fall back onto his points position from last season. He's in the Daytona race for next week. He's fine. Just racing for position, but unfortunately he's going to be out for the rest of the race.
The one I'm worried about is Nathan Kiani. He took a pretty good shot. I don't know if it knocked the wheel out of alignment for him, but if it did, that could be a lengthy repair for this number 6 machine. It could put him behind the 8 ball entirely and likely out of Daytona next week. As it sits right now, Matt Morrison, 21st, Nathan Kiani, 19th. I believe those are the two that would be eliminated if this race were to end right now. They would be the two that would be going home from duel number 1.
Looks like Nathan Kiani's going to be able to come out of pit road. So he's not totally out of it, fortunately. It was so cool seeing him racing up there. He was giving such big pushes and being very aggressive. I love seeing that. Being very competitive.
Yeah, he was able to make some great moves there and was really working up to the front of this field and fought to the front of this field. Now he's going to have to do it again, or at the very least, he's got to fight for a couple spots to have a chance for racing next week at Daytona. He got, of course, DNQ'd last year, so he's looking for some vengeance on that one if he can do it again this year. Should be one to go this next time by. Brett Bennett is your race leader.
So whenever we go green, should be 7 laps left in Duel 1. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot of crazy moves on this this restart. It's come down the wire here.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to see some guys getting really desperate to make moves. You got the battle, of course, for the dual win going on, but of course you got the battle for positions going on for a lot of these guys who are just trying to make the field. So we'll see how they all shake out and how they fare in just a few laps' time. Right now, it's Brett Bennett leading. Austin Rica is going to line up to his inside there. Bennett shows the outside. Shockey Tarpley is 3rd. Jonathan Parker is 4th. Travis Van Oostendorp, how about that, up there now in the 5th place spot with a chance to go win this duel, coming to 7 to go.
And I think picking Oscar Enriquez as one of your ones to watch was definitely a great call. Same with Brett Bennett. They've both been able to find themselves up front here late in Duel 1. I'm curious to see how they'll be able to work together. I think working together on this restart will definitely be a big theme because, well, Enriquez and Bennett, I'm not totally sure if they're teammates, but I know that they do work together. And then on the outside line, we've got Jonathan Parker and Christian Pacheco, so I would watch out for that duo as well.
Yeah, Brett Bennett and Oscar Enriquez are teammates. They are racing together. And of course, they're racing the same team. They race for Circumference Ultimate Motorsports. And then Jonathan Parker and Chris Pacheco racing together. They're the 48, the 88. They're going to work together on the outside lane if they can to try to go for the win. 7 laps to go in duel number 1. Set the inside line for the iRacing Not Funny 250. Who's going to get up here and win the first race, technically race, of the season? We'll see in 7 laps. Brett Bennett mashes the gas, gets us back to green. Parker going to send it to his outside. Bennett will pull down on the bottom lane to get in front of Enriquez as they head down for turn number 1. Parker got a good jump, but he has got to wait and get that 88 back up on his back bumper.
Big shot there as the 88 finally gets back bumper, and the 47 and the 56 are going to come up in front of the 48 on the outside line.
They lead the outside line. Field tucked in behind this 47 and 56 as they head through 3 and 4. You see Jonathan Jurgensmeyer up there now in position battling for 5th with Shockey Tarpley and Travis Van Ussendorp, down on the bottom lane trying to lead this bottom charge.
That outside line has been able to really have a big lead now. They have 6 cars clear of the inside line. The inside line's really just losing a lot of steam. They don't have nearly as much help as the top does, and that's allowed the top to have a significant grasp on the inside line.
And as they continue to fade back and pull it back the outside line, single file for the most part, maybe just kind of biding time till it's go time for this 48-88. That's what it seems like they're doing. They've also got Jurg behind them. Those 3 drivers all could work together to try and get by this 47 and 56.
5 laps to go here, and I think that's going to be go time for a lot of drivers. They're going to want to start getting up to the front if they can, and it's going to start to get really wild.
There's one driver who's hoping they start to get wild. That is Nathan Chiani. Currently, right now, he is scored in 20th place. He's off the pace. He is not keeping up with this pack. He's lost the pack. So he's going to need some of these guys to start wrecking out to give him a chance at making it into the field next week.
Inside line continues to lose steam. They're just completely disconnected, and that's allowed the top just pull away by a wide margin.
Brett Bennett has not won any of our broadcasted league races since he's been racing. It would be fitting for his first win to come in a duel because that's on brand for him to win the one that doesn't matter. Right now, 4 laps to go. He leads the charge. Enriquez right behind him in second, kind of thinking about pulling out, or maybe he's thinking about blocking a potential run that 48-88 might try to go for.
We've got a couple takers on this inside line. Jamie Wright pulls it down, and this looked like the 66 was going to try to do the same, but he hesitated. Here comes an Enrique Cucalone, and he's going to give a big shot to the 89.
Ooh, getting a little squirrely on the bottom lane there. And that slows him up even more. There's AJ Knickel going through the middle. He's one of our drivers. He's got to race his way in. As it stands right now, Nathan Chiani and I think Sean Kissane are the 2 that'll be heading home at the end of this duel. But up front, it's Brett Bennett leading. 3 laps to go.
And you wouldn't think it was 3 laps to go with how calm it seems. It seems like the drivers up front are just kind of trying to keep their position, don't want to make any moves that would cost them. But these guys on the back, they have something to race for. And I think that's why you're seeing more people starting to head to the bottom here as the end of the race nears.
It's feeling like an Xfinity Series race, for 2019. It's that race. They train at the top until the last lap. Everybody tries to go for it, then nobody's able to advance. So Brett Bennett right now sits in the catbird seat, but not yet. The inside line starting to charge. Jamie Wright's leading the push to the front. 2 laps to go.
Man, an inside line, they're coming. They come. They have a lot of cars down there. I think they're gonna start to get near the front. As we have a car going in the middle there, that's Blaine Sparling. That's gonna slow up the bottom's momentum.
Yeah, it's going to kill a lot of their momentum, and we'll see what happens here through the rest of this field. What do Parker and Pacheco do? Coming to the white flag this next time by.
It seems like they're getting a little disconnected from the top 2. I don't know if that's intentional. I feel like it is. I feel like they might try to go to the bottom with their momentum. White flag.
What happens now? Enriquez and Bennett controlling this field. Wright and Kukulon trying to push forward, but Pacheco and Parker might get locked to this outside lane with the way the inside's coming.
Here they go. Sean Cassane's with 3
No,
wide.
they're trying to wreck, saving it with Bayer in the background. Saves that car from wrecking. Right now, out front, it's Brett Bennett with Oscar Enriquez. Here comes Jonathan Parker to the inside.
Can Brett Bennett side by side?
Bennett's going to have to block Enriquez. Pacheco to the outside. Bennett's going to have to make a move. It's not going to work. Coming to the line, Jonathan Parker turned as they come across the stripe. I think it's going to be Christian Pacheco wins here at Daytona to kick off the duels. It's going to be the 88 car in victory lane.
Wow, what a finish.
Christian Pacheco, right place, right time. He takes home the first checkered flag here in Season 14 at Daytona. Let's take a look back at that one quickly. We got about 12 minutes before the grid for the next race.
That was just a wild finish. Wasn't expecting that.
Take a look back and see how this all played out in the favor of Christian Pacheco. It came down to this. Coming to the line, Jamie Wright gets pushed down below the double yellow, I think by Kukulon, got into him, and just trying to get to the inside. A little bit of that code is enough to send JP around. And as everybody's just fighting for every spot they can take on this last lap, Christian Pacheco see,
wow,
just
we even
right here. Just barely.
Even had a car on the side after the finish. I believe that's Anthony Foss just got a ramp between the cars below him and the wall, and that just sent him sliding outside.
Take a look at our finishing results here in just a second. I get a shot of this field going by the start-finish line. And just like that, there they all go. So we'll take a look at your finishing results from duel number 1. Gotta reset it. There we go. Pacheco was the winner with Enrique Kukulon finishing second. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer came home third. Brett Bennett fourth. Francisco Bacayo races his way in fifth. Jamie Wright sixth. Jonathan Parker was seventh. Enriquez finishing eighth. Matt Morrison and Anthony Foss ninth and 10th. Both will be racing next week.
AJ Knickel finishes 11th. Shockey Tarpley, 12th. Blaine Sparling 13th. Matt Steiner 14th. Sean Cassane 15th. Jared Wilson finishes 16th. Travis Van Oostendorp finishes 17th. Charlie Byer 18th, Donald Stern 19th, and Nathan Kiani, after a really strong run, is going to finish 20th.
21st is Matthew J. O'Brien. 22nd is Michael Walls. And Jordy Robinson finished, or actually, yeah, should have been Jordy Robinson. Maybe Francis Hamilton should have finished 23rd. Everything's all shaken up right now with the results because it's showing everybody that shouldn't have been here but was here on the grid technically. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be another DNQ for Nathan Kiani, and Charlie Bayer as well is going to miss the field at Daytona. Matthew J. O'Brien, he finishes 21st, sticks it out at the end, and he is able to take the pole position. So let's see if we can quickly get a hold of our top 3 finishers, which should be Pacheco, Kukulon, and Juergensmeyer. Actually, we only have 8 minutes. We'll just talk to, it looks like, our winner. Quickly, Rivers, good luck in your duel, and thank you for joining me here for duel number 1.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me up here. Hope I can do it again sometime soon.
Look forward to it, Rivers. Thank you.
Thank you, too.
And we will pull up our duel winner. It was a chaotic finish at the end, but he comes through with a checkered flag. Christian Pacheco kicks off Season 14 with a win to his name. Christian, that last lap was pretty freaking chaotic. What was it like from your perspective, watching everything around you just kind of implode as you came to the checkered flag?
Well, I mean, I was just trying to get behind the 48. I was going to hope that I could push him, but there just wasn't enough room with the run they had in the bottom. And once I saw he had a big run on the bottom, I was like, oh, well, let me just go up and side draft the people on the outside so the 48 car could win. So I was really just trying to help the 48 car win that. And then the 89 car got knocked under the apron and decided it was a good idea to come back up and just turn the 48. So I just got lucky that someone did something stupid.
Well, that luck gets you a 3rd place starting spot next week for the iRacing Not Funny 250. How does it feel to have a spot up in the front to try to capitalize on for that race?
I mean, I'll just hope that I can kind of stay up near the front at the beginning of the race and just not get involved in anything early. And if I kind of just get put in the middle of the pack, I might end up dropping back just because there's no point to get myself wrecked on the first run of the race. So I'll just kind of see how it plays out with how aggressive everybody is, and we'll see how it goes.
Alrighty, well, the first broadcast of Checkered Flag of the Year falls to you here tonight. Teammates, sponsors, shoutouts. What got you up here to this duel win?
I'll just shout out everyone on JBM, everyone who used to be on JBM, I guess. JP, Jared, even though Jared also got wrecked in that race by the 89. As the 89 just had something out for all of us, I don't know. And everyone else that was in the call with me, like Micah, Gabe, Travis, Donald, Jurg, Justin, all of them. So just hopefully we can do even better for all of us in the 500, and hopefully I can win it.
Alrighty, that's your Duel 1 winner here tonight, Christian Pacheco. Coming away with the checkered flag. Congrats to the win, Christian.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so we are going to move over to the second session, because it looks like that one is not open yet, actually, maybe. I don't know if it's up yet, so we'll wait. We'll pull in our 2 drivers that will looks like we'll be our analyst here. For duel number 2, we'll start off pulling them both in here. So first things first, it's me. It's me, Jamie.
I was in the middle of a sentence. You scared me.
Yeah, I love scaring you. Alrighty, well, you two just finished your duels. You got your lineup spots set. Brett, looks like you'll be starting 9th. And Jamie, I believe you'll be starting 13th. That was a little more... technically, I think it was calmer. So what are you expecting out of the second duel?
It's gonna be complete. I expect more chaos. I mean, we got I think more entries in the second duel because we had a couple people who couldn't make the first duel or let people know late, so it just kind of been a little bit chaos and get everything set up. But I think it's gonna be even more chaos here.
Yeah, the duels are never the same, and if we're calling this the calm duel, then I expect the other one to be a very big mess.
I'm not gonna lie, I was enjoying the calm.
It was all right actually, yeah.
It's really nice when it's a calm race and you're just leading the top and everybody's running the top. Like,
Well, we'll see how things pan out here in duel number 2. As it looks right now, we have 9 drivers again fighting for 7 spots, same as it was in this duel. You got Dane Cruz, going to be on the hot seat, going to have to race his way in with Hunter Collier, Andrew Davis, Shane O'Neill, Robert Lukens, Jaden Porter, James Bomar, Yusuf Ghali, and Amir Bascom all are going to have to race their way in. We'll see who gets bumped, who makes the cut as we get ready for duel number 2. Still waiting for the session to pop up. I believe it might be up now. We'll double check and see, and if it is, we'll pop out.
it is up but unavailable at the moment, but it's about to launch, I think.
As we wait for that, then I'll go to commercial break real quick. Don't turn that dial anywhere. You're watching BRN's presentation of the Slide Jump Racing League Season 14. Duels at Daytona to set our lineup for the iRacing Not Funny 250 next Tuesday night here on BRN.
To have a rivalry, you need a rival. For every David, a Goliath. For every Hatfield, a McCoy.
Every KO Yarborough
needs a Bobby Allison.
For every fight, a ring to settle it in. In order to finish first, somebody's got to finish second. I hate second. Love your rivals. Because you need someone to beat.
What can you learn from Tony Stewart?
You gotta sell stuff you love. People have to trust you. You are what you endorse. So any questions?
Why is nobody buying my Estrada glasses? Hello? Estrada.
Look at me, I got 1 million of these Care Crushers on load. Nothing. How do you do it, Tony? Look, endorse things you believe in. Like me and the Whopper. I endorse it because I love it. Okay, you lost me on that one, Tony.
Estrada.
Whopper, flame fresh taste, endorsed and loved by Tony Stewart.
Sure signed some interesting stuff, Clint. Yeah, Jim. I sign all kinds of things. Did you just sign a baby? I sign lots of babies. I sign a lot of hats. Glad we took our 5-hour energy today. Gives you that alert, energized feeling. Lasts for hours. 0 sugar, 4 calories.
Thanks.
Why me? Why me? I won Daytona last year.
I won nationwide.
I did beat Jimmy Johnson.
I won Vegas.
I won Richmond.
I'm good with people. I'm from Wisconsin. I'm loyal. I like animals.
I'm better looking.
Come on. I'm a Libra. There was a cat in a tree and I got him out. So?
So what do you think?
Am I on your team?
Choose wisely. The all-new 2013 NASCAR Fantasy Live. Play today at NASCAR.com.
I'm feeling a connection here.
Nothing's tougher than a Mahindra tractor. Except a bigger Mahindra tractor. Pound for pound, this one's still tougher. Tough. Tougher. Tough. Tougher.
Mahindra, the official tractor of Tough and Stewart-Haas Racing.
I got a race this weekend. I'll see you later.
I had no idea what I was getting into when I agreed to drive the Aaron's Dream Machine. I mean, I knew Aaron's was a great company, how they help people get the things they need without needing credit at a guaranteed low price. Aaron's is just great. But working with Michael Waltrip, seriously, I don't understand him at all. He's a mess. Unbelievably disorganized and extremely immature. Never serious. He's like the opposite of me. This is going to be a very long season.
I'm Jimmy Johnson. Boom, confetti. I'm Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy, customers love the new paint color. It's your beard.
Oh, wow.
And living legend, Jimmy Johnson is on aisle 8.
Dawn, this is all great. Maybe a little much.
I think we're playing it pretty cool here.
I'm Jimmy Johnson. Boom, confetti.
Welcome back here to Duel coverage for the Slide Jawb Racing League Season 14 Duels at Daytona. Getting ready to set the field for next week's iRacing.Funny 250 with Duel number 2 getting ready to be underway. We got about 5 minutes here in practice. Warm-up technically is what we've got going on. Drivers just kind of running some laps here, getting ready to go racing. And as we get ready to go racing, we have got another guest joining me in the booth. Of course, Jamie Wright back in the booth with me here, getting ready for the second duel. Jamie, how you feeling about next week, and just what are we looking to see maybe in this duel with the way things are all setting up?
I think for this race specifically, the pushes are going to be a little insane. A lot of the guys I was pushing were a little out of control, and I don't know if that might have been me pushing them. I don't know. I might not be a very good pusher, but it seemed like the cars were getting very squirrely when we were pushing, so I think that could cause some chaos here in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're just going to want to watch. There's warm-ups here for the next about 4 minutes. We got some guys just setting some extra lap times. It's Gino Mero with Tyler Watermullen right behind him. You got just more drivers just kind of pulling some extra laps, getting things ready, warmed up, and ready to go racing here in this second duel to try to get themselves into this race.
I think it's going to be interesting in this duel. We have a lot of very, very talented drivers having to race their way in, including Dane Cruz. And to see them having to actually race their way in, it's going to be very interesting, especially with the aggressiveness of some of these drivers. Usually they're not in this position. Usually they are locked into these races. But now it's a whole different ballgame for those drivers.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Guys like, Dane Cruz right here in the one. You got Yusuf Ghali. He's got to race his way in. He's going to have to fight in that number 54 to get up there and race in next week. Jaden Porter as well, a former winner here in the Slide Jawb Racing. He has to race his way in as well. So a lot of guys on that list that have to fight for their right to race next week. So we'll see how things all pan out. We got 3 minutes here in warm-ups left. Guys, just setting some extra final laps of practice here before we get going for the real thing.
And you mentioned Yusuf Ghali. He's going to be interesting to watch. He's going to be coming from the back of the field. I don't expect him to be there for long, but how is he going to be able to manage getting through this traffic, especially with guys that he might not have ever raced with before?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, I think, to watch that 54 try to navigate all this traffic and get into the front. So we'll see what he does. He's got 30 laps to get up there, and at least he doesn't have to beat everybody. He just has to beat 2 drivers that are on that list. Of course, we'll review those drivers. We'll highlight them in the starting lineup when we get ready to get going. In just 2 minutes time here for duel number 2. So as we get ready. Kind of interesting race so far. Fun one, and we'll look to see what race number 2 has in store for us here tonight to get us ready to go racing next week at Daytona.
Right now, the top of the charts is Michael Kruger, obviously a mainstay in the Slide Job Racing League and other leagues associated with it. Jeffrey Armistead up there as well. I believe he was one of the fastest qualifiers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Jeffrey Armistead is our outside pole sitter. So yeah, he does not have anything to race for tonight. He's already locked up on the front row.
And I wonder if he'll do something like Matthew J. O'Brien did, where he just pulled off the track. You know, he just kind of ran in the back of the field, didn't want to get into any mess. I'm not entirely sure how those rules work. I don't know if you have to finish the race or if you can wreck and everything's okay. But that was definitely the strategy Matthew O'Brien took, just laying low in the back of the field, not wanting to get into any trouble.
It's the right thing to do. Just hide in the back. Don't let anybody near you, and just make sure you're making it to the end of this race. It was the right call altogether, and it looks like ATVO is about to crash on us as they start to crash in the background, and everything just crashed. Now it's back.
Everything's crashing.
We're having a lot of fun here. This is what I love about this stuff, is sometimes it just doesn't work. So we're going to have to quickly open up ATVO, get it fired back up, get the theme loaded up, make sure everything's good, and that way we can have a proper broadcast for you to witness. They're still kind of just messing around, a little bit wrecking there in the trial. There they all go. Of course, we're running out of time here in this warm-up. Get ready to head for duel number 2. Drivers just sliding in, doing as they wish as we get up to the sky in the blimp, looking over this racetrack, 2.5-mile super speedway, historic racetrack across all forms of motorsports disciplines like NASCAR. Of course, endurance racing run here for the 24 Hours of Daytona that ran in real life this past weekend, among other leagues. So let's take a look at your starting lineup. If it shows up properly here, I think it might, and if it doesn't, then oh well. Let's take a quick peek at it. Jeffrey Armistead starting on the pole with Rivers Jones to his outside, so it looks like it's all showing up right and good. So all right, now we can play the music and do your starting lineup here. Starting in row number 2, it is Justin and Ryan Bogey. It's Bridger Olson and Duncan Fall in row 3. Dane Cruz having to race his way in, starting 7th with Gino Mero to his outside of row number 4. And in row number 5, it's Jacob Locklear and Gabe Cazzola.
Starting in P11 is Francis Hamilton, and to his outside is Nayla Thacker. Hunter Collier and Andrew Davis make up the next row, and in P15 is Shane O'Neill, and 16th, Michael Kruger. 17th is Robert Lukens, 18th, Jeremiah Kinnison Jr. The next row, starting 19th, is Tyler Watermolen, and in 20th is Jaden Porter.
Starting 21st in this race tonight is James Bomar with Youssef Ghali. He's outside. Both those drivers have to race their way in. Austin Doran starting 23rd. Connor Zola 24th. Then it's Matthew Chastain 25th, and James Yusa starting in 26th place here tonight. 26 for duel number 2. They are ready to go racing and ready to kick it all off. So as we get ready to go racing, mention it, the drivers you're looking for to make this field tonight. Dane Cruz, he starts 7th. Hunter Collier starting back in 13th. Andrew C. Davis is 14th. Shane O'Neill is 15th. Robert Lukens is in 17th. Jaden Porter starting 20th. James Bomar 21st. Ghali 22nd. And I don't see Amir Bascombe. I don't think he made it. So looks like now it's not 2 guys fighting for those spots. It looks like it's only 1 guy that'll be going home after this.
Oh, and you don't want to be that one man left out either.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, with it being this many people left in this grid, you don't want to be the last one out. And I believe we have another guest in the booth list here. It is Steven Maggio coming in here to join us. Steven, what are you looking forward to in this duel?
I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys are going to do. I think this is going to be a little bit more aggressive for the people that are still trying to race their way in. And there are actually a couple more that were kind of late additions to this duel. We have Connor Zola and James Usa, who will also be trying to race their way into this one. So, and Matthew Chastain as well. So it's actually a little bit more than the first one. So we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. Pace cars off. Armistead, Jones, the front row, heading towards the restart zone. The green flag will wave. Duel number 2 is underway here at Daytona. Sliding all out of sorts in the back half of this field. It looked like, I want to say that was the 41 of Michael Kruger all out of whack. He was able to save it, gathered it up, but cost a couple guys some time. Looked like Jeffrey Armistead, I think, might have led that first lap. He's still back out in front.
Yeah, they got all squirrely on the top side there, and it was just a chain reaction. And now there's a group of cars that are just out of the draft here in their own pack down here in the back of the field.
Connor Zola and Austin Duran are two guys that are not locked in yet, so they're going to either need a caution or they're going to get going and catch this pack.
Austin Duran right now scored 24th. Connor Zola scored in 21st as it stands right now. As they continue to push forward, you got Shane O'Neill, Hunter Collier, Yusuf Ghali, Jaden Porter all under blanket with Andrew C. Davis and Matthew Chastain too. Everybody all mixed together trying to get it done and get into this race. So I don't know how this all kind of shuffles out number-wise. I'm trying to crunch numbers in my head to figure it out. If it was a case of 7 people,
the top 7 not locked in will make it in, yes.
Yeah, and if there's top 7, we've got 12 people, so 5 people will be left out. So that bottom 5, you don't want to be part of it.
As well as Dane Cruz is currently the fastest qualifier that is not locked in, so if he somehow wrecks out of this and does not advance, he'll get that last position on his qualifying.
So Dane's in a really good spot to qualify into this race then. If that's the case. He's not having to hold off too much. He can kind of push as aggressively as he wants because he's got a locked up spot, it sounds like.
And right now the top 3, Jeffrey Armistead pulls off the racetrack, but the top 3 there were clear. And it's just insane how good the outside lane is when you're all pushing each other, you're all going smoothly. But the outside, we've already seen it twice, has gotten bunched up and it's caused some really big problems. But as long as that outside line can stay formed up, it is going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, we saw it in duel number 1. The outside line was the way to go, but the inside line right now working strong out front with Rivers Jones leading. You mentioned Armistead dropping to the back. He's got an outside lane starting spot. He's outside of row 1. Why would he risk it by racing up here in the Hornet's Nest? So he's going to drop back. He's going to save that car, make sure he can make it to the front row next week, and he'll start from 2nd place. Now he's for 2250 next Tuesday night. So everybody else, though, battling to see where they're going to start. Rivers Jones leading the way on the outside lane. It's Nayla Thacker being pushed by James Yusa, who's going to maybe sit it inside. Indeed, he will sit it inside. Thacker
is left out to dry out there on the top.
The exact words that were about to come out of my mouth, where Thacker was left out to dry on the top. Rivers Jones leads the inside lane. James Yusa now leads the outside with help from Yusuf Ghali in the number 67, not 54. As the inside line, it is Jones being pushed by Duncan Faw. But that outside line powers to the front. These two having to race their way in. They're now 1-2 as things stand right now.
As you saw right there, Thacker went all the way to the very back of the field there. So if you just don't want to be left out to dry, whether it's in the middle lane or the top. So you have to be very concerned about where the runs are coming and where they're going to go.
Yusuf Ghali jumped to the bottom lane to get in front of Rivers Jones, now leading the inside charge through 3 and 4, trying to take the race lead away. Oh, sliding up a bit in the back there. Jaden Porter slid up off the corner.
And if I'm not mistaken, Yusuf Ghali started in the back, and it's only lap 7, and now they're up there in the front of the field.
Yeah, James
Ghali started 22nd.
Golly started 22nd. Yusa started 26th. Shotgun of the field. They're 1 and 2 right now. Jaden Porter as well started out back. Now up here in this pack as well, but they're starting to stack this outside lane up big time, slowing them all up. Faw jumps the outside lane. Golly goes to block. Faw back to the middle. Going to send it in the inside. Yusa with a huge run and a huge shot to Duncan Faw as Golly gets hung out to dry this time.
An update on these guys in the back here. They have been losing the front pack, so they really need to start switching things around if they want to try to catch up here, because I've seen it done before where a group of around 5 cars can get together and work really good and catch the pack, but these guys are not in a good system right now.
We have got a mess up here in the front of the field. They are all over the place. And now it looks like the top 5 are just going to pull away.
How quickly it all changed. Double file racing, now all of a sudden single file for the top about 7, where you have double file 8th on back.
Yeah, it was just a mess there. They were going 3 wide, but they just couldn't figure themselves out. Cars were dipping down to the bottom, going up top. They just didn't know where they wanted to go. And now they're going to have to try to play catch up and get to the back half of this field, which I think they're going to be able to do right here. Yeah, here comes a run up here on the top side with Hunter Collier.
Yeah, big run
James
on the
Usa
outside.
on the bottom here, dipping out of the pack.
Might have dipped too far as he fades back up front. The battles for the lead. Here comes Francis Hamilton now, going for the top spot.
And we see the lines evening out right here. It doesn't look like there's much with an advantage right now, but that can change really quickly with a stack up from either lane. Here comes a 71 to the top of the field. As we got a third lane forming with Yusuf Ghali, as well as Dane Cruz, open cars up there on the top.
Quickly, it's going to be a pressure-filled battle, as you see there. I believe that is, I want to say, if it would show up properly, it's not showing up. Gino Mero got the lead. Dane Cruz right there is third. Was leading that outside charge. But Yusuf Ghali, Jacob Locklear right here in the picture too. Bridger Olson, all 4 Cruise Autosport cars, or 4 of the 5 I should say, all lined up here nice and tight together.
And it appears like just what happened in duel number 1 is going to happen again here in duel 2. The inside line is falling apart. So it looks like we might see another train around the top. And oh, here comes, I believe that's Jaden Porter, dipping down to the bottom. Maybe try to get this lane regrouped.
Porter and Faw both jump down and go to the bottom lane. It's going to help them lead a little bit. He's Justin Rock going to force it to the middle, 3 wide just behind. Not sure that's going to work too well, but he's going to get a spot at least out of it. Taking over that spot in the outside lane from Nayla Facker in the 9.
Here comes Francis Hamilton to the bottom here, looking for the lead. He's going to get pushed by Jaden Porter. Gino Mero able to hold it up there on the top with a push from Dane Cruz. As we predicted, these open cars that have to race their way in, Dane Cruz and Yusuf Ghali wasted no time trying to get to the front of the field. They don't even want to try to be anywhere near the back of the field here.
And they currently have all 4 Cruise Autosport cars in a line on the outside right here, so they are in a great position right now to work together.
And if they can stay like this for even a few more laps, they could take full control of the entire field for the rest of the race.
Still going to be a tall task, though. You got Francis Hamilton right there, put him a good fight in his 37. You got Jaden Porter, another open car, has to race his way in. He's been contending, staying with Hunter Collier in the 01. Then you've also got Duncan Fall right there in the mix, too. He's been up there having a good battle, but with these open cars, I mean, it's really, it's dicey. There's a lot of them that are up here in this mix, in this battle, and if they get racing more aggressive like they've been doing, you know, we could see some disaster spill out for some of these guys.
Yeah, and if you're one of them up there towards the front, you might just want to chill out here. You know, if you're in the top 5, maybe even top 10, that you're more than likely safe. So hopefully they don't decide to race too hard, and you know that could hurt all of their chances.
Looking at the back of this pack, it is the 99 of Andrew C. Davis. He is one of the last ones that has to race in right now, as well as Matthew Chastain and Shane O'Neill. These three are in the battle for the final spot, essentially. 2 of them will go on and advance. 1 of them will go home. As it sits right now, Shane O'Neill is the first one out. Davis, the last one in.
That's going to be a battle to watch for the rest of the race. They're out here hanging out in the back of the pack. We're going to have to see if one of them tries to, you know, maybe push their way forward towards the front. But right now, it looks like it's going to be a close one here towards the end.
Another thing, too, though, Michael Kruger, that second pack, they figured a little bit out. They chewed into that gap just a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. And that could be enough to get that spot they need.
Yeah, they have it single filed out, and all they need is just a little snip of the front pack's draft, and they will all be coming like a freight train towards the front of the field.
See if I did this right. I did not do this right. I want it to be
Jeremiah Kennison going a lap down here. I believe they are locked in, so they don't have to worry about that too much.
Kennison's locked in. He doesn't have to worry. So right now what I've got pulled up, I've got our battle ticker pulled up, and that is the gap between the packs right now as it stands. Nayla Thacker currently sitting 18th place, the last car in this pack. And then just behind, Michael Kruger, the first car of the next pack, trying to catch up. 3.7 seconds is the gap for these 2 packs. We'll see if they can keep chewing into it bit by bit. Kruger, though, has finally gotten them lined up, gotten them organized, and they're starting to make some gains.
And it looks like we're going to have some stragglers here in the very back.
Oh!
Thacker's got an issue. A big issue.
Yeah, what on earth happened to the 9?
Let's see.
Just blinked out, it looks like. I think just disappeared. So we'll shuffle this up quickly. So there we have the fight there for the pack. As they're 3 wide, Hunter Collier trying to send it through the middle. I thought for a split second he had a chance at it. Couldn't get there. Hamilton still leading this inside line, but they are really split up here. Oh, the 71!
Oh,
Maryland to the wall!
Into the wall.
Everybody's able to miss.
We've seen a couple instances of stuff like that, and they've been able to keep it straight. But now we're going to see here, will the pack pick him up, this second pack that's going tremendously faster than him? We're going to see if they can pick him up.
They'll pick him up. The battle up front is for the lead. Hunter Collier stuck into the sucker hole, getting dropped to the back quickly.
Oh, Duncan falls in the
wall. Duncan fall around! Caution's going to come out.
Well, and if the back pack wasn't catching up as it was, now they definitely have.
Just like that, it's thrown this race for a loop entirely. We'll take a look at your BRN replay, show you what happened to get us here. Hunter Collier was stuck in the middle. I think just trying to hope they would give him space. Duncan Fall maybe give him a little too much space. Catches the wall and then no chance. I believe, I want to say that was...
Looks like Jacob Locklear got into him.
Jacob Locklear just had nowhere to go. Got in the back of him. Helped finish him off. Yeah, that was Jacob Locklear, that 84 car. Cruise Auto Racing 84 machine. Just gets in the wall. It sticks him in the wall. And Locklear trying to get underneath them. Just, they make contact. And just nowhere for Locklear really to go. Just, it happens. Around they go.
Yeah. And it looks like Bridger Olsen might have gotten a piece of the wall there. I think they should be all right. And just luckily for guys like Ryan Bogey and Andrew Davis, they didn't get a piece of this either. Andrew Davis was really close, it seems like, to getting a piece of it. But it just seems like it was just a one-car spin right here.
Hearing what happened with Nayla Thacker is that their screen turned off, so screen went black, and they tried to get it off the track as quick as possible.
Worked out, got out of the way. I almost came back up on the track, though. Would have wiped out that second pack if they did. Maybe, a couple feet away from wiping out the field there. So, able to avoid it. Able to keep things straight and pointed in the right direction. And we go under caution, though, for a different incident involving the 45 of Duncan Fall.
Here for pit stops, it seems like just a couple people in the back of the field elected to pit. We had Berger Olson, Jeffrey Armistead, Nayla Thacker, James Bomar, all electing to come down pit road. I believe they are probably fixing damage from the few scuffles we've seen so far in this duel.
So as things stand right now, take a look and see. I think you guys are on the border, trying to make this race, where they're at, how things are running. The highest running of those is going to be Matthew Chastain, currently in third, right there, number 12, at Ryan Newman paint scheme. Dane Cruz currently in fourth place. The second one you got Yusuf Ghali in fifth. Shane O'Neill right now is in sixth. Jaden Porter seventh. Robert Lukens is back there in seventh. O'Neill sixth. Yeah, O'Neill sixth. Porter seventh. Lukens is eighth. They're shuffling all around right now. I don't know why. Lukens is eighth. That is the sixth driver. And then Hunter Collier is 10th. He is our seventh and final driver that would make the cut. Andrew C. Davis in 14th would be the first one out. Then Austin Dorn in 18th. James Dusa in 19th. Connor Zola in 20th. James Bomar 23rd. Those drivers would be out of it as things stand right now. So coming the start-finish line. Going to be hitting 10 laps to go. Should be restarting with 9 laps to go. It looks like the 37 going to choose the outside lane here for this restart. That's been the common theme of all these drivers tonight here in the duels. Both of them. Everybody on the restarts choosing the outside lane.
And that just shows how much the outside is preferred here and how overpowered it could be. As long as they keep it all formed up, it'll be good to be on that top side. And I find it very interesting that a lot of our open drivers, a lot of the drivers that got to race their way in, are in the top 10 right now. So if you're somebody in the back like James Bomar, you're going to have a long way to go to get up into one of these spots to make it into the race next week.
Yeah, these guys out back, like Austin Dorn, James Dusa, Connor Zola, they're going to have some work cut out for them. But how about the run right now going for Shane O'Neill right now in 5th place? This 91 looking to make the race next week. He's in a good spot as things stand. We'll see if he can close it out and be racing next week, trying to go for a Daytona win.
Yeah, he's having a great run, mainstay of the league. So it'd be great to see him in the race next week.
Absolutely, but we still got plenty of racing to go. 9 laps remaining. That's a long way to go. And a lot can happen in these 9 laps. It's Francis Hamilton, your race leader on the outside lane. Rivers Jones will be lining up to his inside. Matthew Chastain is scored 3rd. Then it's Dane Cruz in 4th. 5th place will go to Yusuf Ghali with Shane O'Neill in 6th place. Then it looks like it's going to be Robert Lukens, Hunter Collier, Jaden Porter, and Jacob Locklear. The pace car leading the field through turns 3 and 4. Down towards the front straightaway. We'll head down into pit lane. Leaving Hamilton in charge of this field, heading for the Geico restart zone. Matching the gas pedal back to green. 9 laps of racing left here in duel number 2.
The outside lane did not go. The entire outside lane is broken up. And I think the whole field might get broke. Oh, we've got trouble down here on the bottom. Gabe Cazzola, I believe that was, is way down there.
Just, okay, all right, okay, all right, well, okay. I don't know what happened there. I think he just want to start out back next week, but they are still fighting like crazy. Back in the back behind, I believe, that is Hunter Collier. They're stacking up behind this 0-1. Everybody's just trying to get around and navigate things as they can. Francis Hamilton is your race leader as it stands right now with help from Rivers Jones, but the push coming out back. It's Dayton Cruz, Yusef Ghali, Jaden Porter, and Justin Rott now in the outside lane.
Yeah, after that restart was a mess, it seems like they're finally starting to figure it out as they the pack has formed back up a little bit. Gabe Cazzola, I believe, is still on the inside wall, so I'm not sure entirely what. Yeah, he's still up against the inside wall. I'm not entirely sure what happened to him on that restart, but everything else is starting to calm down a little bit for now.
Not yet. It's picking back up. Dane Cruz and Yusef Ghali. Huge run to the lead now. Jaden Porter thought about going to the middle with help from Justin Rott as they head down into turns 3 and 4. They're 3 wide further back. It's the 40 car of James Bomar in the middle with help from Austin Doran.
James Bomar might be one of the most aggressive drivers in this field, and it is no shock to me that he is up here racing 3 wide, trying to make his way into the iRacing.Funny 250 next week.
Justin Rott now leads the middle lane now in the middle. He's got Bomar Doran, and I believe it's Connor Zola back there as well. More drivers filing into the middle lane. Everybody trying to fight for every piece of real estate they can take here because every spot matters for them. Outside lane, big push
We're
coming.
going to see these pushes.
Ryan Bogey going down to the bottom lane.
We're going to see these pushes get much harder, and that might make everybody a little more squirrely here, so we might see some big issues coming from this pack right here.
They're hitting the wall, but look at this middle line. What a run by Justin Rott through the middle. 6 laps to go. We're 3 wide now for second. Make it third. Bomar now clear. He's going to go to the inside of Rott. Just like that, James Bomar.
It is getting crazy.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. How bad does everybody want this?
We did not see racing like this at all in duel number 1, which I guess does come to show that this is going to be the exciting duel of the night, as it now looks like we're about to just go back to 2 lanes as the outside line has fallen off back there in the back.
These guys are going to have to figure out what they need to do to make the cut line here. James Bomar, Austin Dorr, and Dane Cruz, the top 3, battling it out now as Rott goes to the inside lane. You got Yusef Ghali who's getting hung out on the outside lane, it looks like. Getting very much hung out.
Detrimental to his efforts here.
Gonna have Bridger Olsen to help push him.
He's got to make his way in, so he's got to get back up there.
Olsen helping push, but he has got Shane O'Neill coming on the bottom lane. Hunter Collier, Andrew Davis, James Eustace, Connor Zola all right here. So a lot of guys battling for these last spots. They're all in the mix right there.
We now have an outside lane here broken up. We got 3 wide towards the back, so that could be detrimental to that outside lane. They got to try to figure this out and get back up to the front, because we got a breakaway up here with about 5 cars clear for the moment.
See Cruz with help from Jaden Porter. These two have to race their way in. They got Bomar going to pull up and block him.
Oh, that was a late block, and I'm surprised he didn't get hooked for that. But Dane Cruz now pushing him, maybe trying to get clear of this pack.
Top 2 clear of the bottom lane. Almost the top 3 is Jaden Porter trying to get there. Bomar might have caught the wall a little bit. Stacks up the outside lane a little bit more. 3 laps of racing left. James Eustace going in the middle. Going for broke with that 17 car.
He's running right next to Andrew Davis, who is also an open car. He's getting help from another open car in Yusef Ghali. Through the middle they go.
Dane Cruz wanted to go to the bottom, but James Bomar almost got turned for his efforts for Justin Rott as they still continue to battle up front for the race lead. Dane Cruz charging on the outside with help from Jaden Porter.
Both of these cars racing for the lead have really great pushers behind them. Oh, there's contact between Dane Cruz and Justin Rott.
How about Ryan Bogey, third on the inside line? Coming around the line this time, it's 2 laps to go.
There's more contact, and Dane Cruz is now hung out to the outside. Oh, we got trouble. They're wrecking in the back.
Caution is out. It looks like it's Matthew Chastain. It's Connor Zola up in the wall. We're going to overtime here in duel number 2. Some of our open drivers that had to race their way in are going to be involved in this one. Take a look at your BRN replay, show you what happened. Just like a lot of bobbling around. Oh, the 71 gets turned into Matthew Chastain. It looks like a bad push.
You know, on my end, it looks like Matthew Chastain and Gino Mero kind of got connected there a little bit. Maybe a little neck code. Sends them back up in front of the field, where Shane O'Neill gets involved towards Connor Zola.
O'Neill got a piece of it. Connor Zola got a piece of it. It almost looks like it was contact with Bridger Olsen that sent that 71 around. We'll take a ride on board with Bridger Olsen and show you what I'm talking about here. You'll see it. Yeah, contact between the 2 and the 71. That sends them around.
Yeah, and you can see right there from that view just how detrimental just a little off-center a push can be. And it could just turn a car around just like that. You got to be perfectly symmetrical with these cars to even think about pushing.
So with that, we head to overtime. James Bomar is leading. The big thing with that, some of these cars that were in that wreck are our open cars trying to race for these spots, so that shuffles things around a bit. As it stands right now, your drivers that would be in are first place James Bomar, Jaden Porter, who is second. You got all the way back to Dane Cruz in 7th, James Yusa in 8th, Yusuf Ghali is currently 10th, Hunter Collier is currently 13th, Andrew Davis in 14th, the last car in. Leaves Shane O'Neill in 16th and Robert Luke in 17th, the first 2 cars out right now, but some of them coming to pit lane, get some damage, maybe some tires, maybe needing to splash of fuel even to make it to the end of this one.
Yeah, and we have 3 attempts at this green-white checkered, and we might see, if this does go to 3 attempts, some people maybe having to pit for fuel, maybe some people running out trying to keep their track position. But I think as of right now, everybody should be okay. But, you know, if we get a couple more green-white checkers, it could be detrimental for a lot of these guys in the field.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in these overtime attempts. Of course, first overtime attempt tonight comes here in duel number 2. For anybody who may not know what a green-white checkered is, if you're tuning in for the first time, you're like, what the hell are you talking about overtime green-white checkered? Very simple concept. If we get the green flag here on this restart, we make it around to the white flag, the race will be official. We'll race back to the line for the checkered flag. If we get a caution after the green flag is thrown before the white flag, so on the first lap we go green. If we get another caution flag, we will re-rack them, restack them, and do another restart. We have 3 chances at this. If we cannot do it on the 3rd restart, the race will end under caution, and that will be that. But we're hoping to not have to end under caution. We're hoping to end under green, hoping to get us a race to the start-finish line here in duel number 2.
Yeah, ending under caution is never the way you want to end something, especially as meaningful as this, racing your way into the iRacing.Funny 250 next week. But if you think this is going to be any tamer than what we just saw, I just don't think that's going to be the case. It might be even crazier than what we just saw somehow.
So should get the 2 to green this time. Indeed we do. Lights are off on the pace car.
And for the first time tonight, I believe, we have had the leader choose the bottom. So that's some different territory. We might see something a little different on this restart.
We'll see what happens. Beaumart's just the inside the first time tonight. We see that. Update on Gabe Cazzola. Gabe said that his game froze. It did the same thing to me at one point. It did the same thing to me on a broadcast where it just freezes in place in one spot, but the game is still running. It's still, you can still hear cars moving, cars racing and everything, but it just freezes. Listen, that's what happened to Gabe. So when he shot to the inside, it wasn't a case of anything to whatever. It looks like his game just decided to stop working properly. So good thing he got out of harm's way, got everybody able to get by him, and no issues for anybody else. Just takes him out of it, makes him have to start out back next Tuesday night, which, you know, it's Daytona. Is it really a problem?
Yeah. Yeah, luckily for him, he was locked in. But that's the second time in this duel we've seen some technical difficulties with these drivers. So, you know, if I had a nickel, you know.
Here we go. Overtime. Attempt number 1 here in duel number 2. Got some drivers trying to fight for every last spot to make this race next week, and some guys that are just fighting to get a better starting spot. Pace car is off. It's overtime in Daytona here in the Slide Job Racing League Season 14. Green flag back in the air. Beaumart with a great launch with help from Rott.
Once again, the outside line did not get a good start there. It's not as bad as their last one. I think they could get bunched up, and possibly even better than the inside. As we can see, Rivers Jones pushing Jaden Porter.
Shoving that 28 with all he's got. Porter trying to get to the outside lane and clear for the race lead right now. Beaumart holding strong on the inside, coming around down the back.
The back half of this field is not connected to the front. They are out of the draft. And it looks like they might not be able to catch back up in time, so the race for the final transfer spot might just happen outside of the front pack.
I was going to say, Andrew Davis is slow right now. Not sure what happened to the 99, but he had a lot of troubles getting up to speed, but we're going to get to the white flag. Beaumart leading. Rod is in second, Bogey in third. How about Michael Kruger now in fourth? White flag is out. Rod jumps to the outside, and he'll take the lead with help from Bogey. 3 wide out back, Beaumart, Porter, and Cruz as they go through 1 and 2. And now here comes Michael Kruger going for the race lead.
They're getting squirrely here in this pack right here. They're all trying to catch up to Justin Rott and Ryan Bogey. 3 by 3 entering turn number 3.
Bogey almost got turned, getting in front of Porter. Rott dives to the bottom. They're all fighting for any spot they can take behind Rott. Kruger trying to make the move for the win. He gets to the outside. Rott sent to the inside. Beaumart on the inside line. Can't get it done. Side by side to the line. It's going to be Justin Rott. No! Michael Kruger!
Michael Kruger.
Kruger takes the checkered flag. Are you kidding me?
An insane run right there by Michael Kruger.
How on earth did he win that one?
And the field bunched it up right behind them. I think that might be where we'll get our final transfer spot out of.
And we'll have to check and see. We're going to go to the replay and see maybe what happened on that last lap. So we'll do that real quick as Mikey celebrates, doing some burnouts. The big stack up that happened in the back, the biggest benefactor from all this, it looks like, is going to be Connor Zola. Looks like he will get the final transfer spot. We'll take a look at how he was able to navigate this field. Austin Dorn up ahead of him was trying to do the same thing, but couldn't quite get it done. Zola got to the outside, shoved his way through the middle, and you see all the shuffling, all the chaos, all the carnage. And look at how close it was right there with Jones getting spun, actually, too. That helped out take a look and see. How close was this? Contact here, spinning there. That's about how close it was. So look at James Eustace on the inside too, able to make it. But Austin Doran right here in the background, he is the first one out.
Wow.
Back there in
And that
14th.
is super close too. And you mentioned it on the restart. Andrew Davis was slow on the restart. He ended up turned down the backstretch by Tyler Watermolen. And so he's going to come home 25th, one lap down.
We'll look and see what happened there. Because there's a little animosity going on right now, so we'll see. What exactly did Tyler do? There's a reason why anytime I introduce these broadcasts, it's the stars of the league and Tyler Watermolen. What happened? We'll just ride on board with Tyler, see what happened on this replay.
Yeah, there's some animosity going on for sure.
Oh, Tyler, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's he just yeah, that was a little rough there.
Trying to push it on the back, I get that, but man, when he got off the bumper there and just drove, he just kept his foot on the pedal and just kind of drove through him. I don't know what you're doing, Tyler, but
yeah, and that sucks for Andrew Davis. I'm not sure he was gonna make it either way, but you never want to see your race end like that.
Yeah, he was pretty much out of it anyways, but we'll see if we can talk to our winner here. Let's get a hold of him. Hey, Michael Kruger, it's the boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, buddy, sure do.
I think this is the first time we get to talk to you as a winner here in the Slide Job Racing League. Of course, it wasn't a proper race win, but it's still a win nonetheless. How you feeling after getting that one done?
I mean, I'm exhilarated. I thought I was genuinely dead like lap 2, and like, I don't know, like when I started way in the back, I thought I was gonna wreck myself like 3 different times, but somehow saved it and lost the draft. Got a caution, and I honestly, it felt like a whole blur how I got through the field. I have no idea how the heck I somehow pulled this off. I feel like I just pulled one out of a hat to win that. Everything just feels like a flash of what just transpired, honestly.
Well, you were able to overcome some adversity in this duel. How does that feel knowing, coming into next week, maybe you might have to fight back through some of it to, have the ability to have done so tonight and have that in your back pocket?
You kidding me? I felt real shaky going into this because I feel like I have hardly a lick of next-gen experience on super speedways, and I can't believe I just somehow pulled that off on my birthday of all days. Are you kidding me? My birthday, I somehow win in SJRL, a league I almost can't win in because it's so dang competitive. And to be able to do it in Duel 2, which felt like an absolute just a really tough duel to succeed in with 26 guys in and being deep in the field, losing the draft, and having to basically fight through and pass a bunch of guys that were really good at super speedway racing in the next gens, and somehow being right there with a position to win and to somehow win that out. I mean, I mean, I'll be stoked for the race, but right now I'm just kind of taking this in and just really stoked for this and very excited for next Tuesday.
Alrighty, getting excited for next Tuesday. We'll talk about tonight, though. It's a great birthday gift to win here. Teammates, sponsor, shoutouts. What got you here, Mikey?
I just gotta thank all all the fellows at Circumference Ultimate Motorsports. We packed it deep tonight. We were stacked deep for making a hard charge there in Duel 2. I gotta thank my teammates in Duel 2, Jeffrey and Tyler there, and Shane, and I think that's all of them, and my other teammates, Oscar and Brad. Thank all those guys for being a part of Circumference Ultimate Motorsports, for how hard we bring it every week, and how much this team lays it out there, even though we're kind of underdogs and there's so much of us, and we may not be the fastest guys, but we still show out and make it well known for who we are, but in any way we can, really, even if it's in our not the brightest, but sure was bright tonight for sure.
Well, it's his first time finding victory lane here in the Slide Jawb Racing League. It's only a duel, but hey, you got to start somewhere. It's Michael Kruger taking home the checkered flag here in duel number 2 tonight. Congrats to the win, Mikey, and happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you so much, Dawson.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you, Jamie, also. Thank you.
Alrighty. Well, it was an interesting duel, to say the least, with that, what turned the race on its head, essentially. The first caution that came out with Duncan, Faw, and with Duncan and Jacob, and then after that, the extra caution there at the end to really set this up for an overtime finish and another last lap pass. Jamie, what was that race like for you up in the booth?
Man, that was crazy. I really enjoyed it. That caution, I think, did change everything. I mean, it stirred up everybody. It got everybody so close. Even the people in the back of the field could taste the victory there at the end. And I'm hoping just for the slightest bit of that next week in the iRacing Without Funny 250.
Yeah, if we can get that blend of, a little bit of chaos with a lot of close racing like we saw, I think we'll have a lot of fun in that 100-lap feature next week. But of course, that's not the only thing we have coming up here in the next week. We got plenty of other racing going on. Of course, tomorrow night it is the NASCAR Motor Stardom Cup Series. Tomorrow night, of course, we kick back off, get rolling again with that one. That's going to be at Darlington tomorrow night. Should be a lot of fun. Darlington race. Looks like it's 100 laps at Darlington. It's not too bad, but it's going to be a lot of fun and a little chaotic for these drivers to navigate. That's tomorrow night. Tomorrow night at 9:40 p.m. Eastern, I want to say, usually when we start. So 9:40 p.m. Eastern time here on BRN. And of course, Thursday night, it is the Sofa Racing League, getting closer and closer towards the end of their season. They head into they head into Auto Club. That's right. We kept moving up. So they head into Auto Club this upcoming Thursday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Getting close to the playoffs, getting close to setting the field and getting ready to go racing for a championship. So tune into that one, of course, at, I think it's also 9 p.m. Eastern on BRN Thursday night. And then next week, it's, of course, the iRacing Not Funny 250 to kick off Season 14 of the Slide Jawb Racing League here at Daytona. I want to thank everybody that's joining me in the booth tonight. That goes out for Rivers Jones, who joined me for duel number 1. Stephen Maggio joined us for a bit. Brett Bennett joined us for a little bit. And then, of course, Jamie Wright, thank you for joining me here in the booth for duel number 2.
Yeah, it was a great time. I really enjoy doing this. I've done this for, I think, 2 seasons in a row now. And it's always fun to get a little taste of what it's like behind the scenes.
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun to have the drivers come up and join me here because they can give a little bit of a different perspective, and it's definitely a lot of fun. But thank you, as always, for tuning in and watching these races. Thank you to the drivers for coming out and racing for us. Don't have any highlights. We just got some music to tune out to. Thank you for watching. As always, this is Dawson Allen signing off for everyone at JCTV, saying everyone at BRN, saying so long, and have a great rest of your night.